a jar opener that turns the lid for you, a strainer that clips directly onto the pot so there is no heavy colander to carry, and tiny sliders that let you move a countertop appliance without lifting it. For seniors living alone, the best kitchen products are not the ones with the loudest advertising. They are the ones that quietly remove one frustrating step from the day. Today we are looking at 40 practical Amazon kitchen products, with every item priced below $25 when this list was prepared. No dramatic claims, and no pretending that an ordinary spoon will change your life. Just a clear look at what each product does, who may find it useful, and what to watch for before buying. Some links in the description are affiliate links, which means we may earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. Prices can change, so please check the current Amazon price before ordering. Number 1. Higher Torque Electric Jar Opener for Seniors, $22.99. A tight jar lid can stop dinner before it even begins, especially when grip strength is not what it used to be. This opener is designed to sit over the lid and let the motor do the turning instead of your hands. That can be useful for pickles, pasta sauce, jam, and other jars that usually require a strong twist. The main benefit is not speed. It is being able to open the jar without searching for a towel, tapping the lid, or asking someone else. Make sure the opener is centered correctly before starting, and keep loose fingers away while it is moving. Number 2. Full Star Pro Original Vegetable Chopper and Spiralizer, $23.73. Chopping onions, peppers, and potatoes can take time, and repeated knife work can be tiring. The Full Star lets you press food through a cutting grid and collect the pieces in the container below. It can produce more even pieces than hurried hand chopping, which also helps food cook at a similar rate. The Spiralizer adds another option for vegetables such as zucchini. This is still a sharp cutting tool, so use it on a dry, stable counter and take your time when handling or cleaning the blades. It is most helpful for someone who can press down comfortably but would rather avoid long sessions with a knife. Number 3. Zillervna Rotary Cheese Grater, $13.99. A flat grater asks you to hold the food close to an exposed metal surface. This rotary model puts the cheese or vegetable inside a chamber and uses a hand crank to move it across the drum. The suction base is meant to keep the unit from sliding around while you work. It can be used for foods such as cheese, carrots, or chocolate, depending on the drum fitted to the unit. The handle still needs to be turned, but the motion is different from pushing food repeatedly over a box grater. Lock the base onto a clean, smooth counter before you begin. Number 4. Kitchen Gizmo Snap and Strain Pot and Pasta Strainer, $14.99. Traditional draining often means lifting a hot pot and carrying it toward a large colander in the sink. The Snap and Strain clips onto the edge of the pot, allowing water to pour out while the food stays inside. Because it uses much less storage space than a full-size colander, it is also useful in a small kitchen. The silicone design is made to fit a range of pots, pans, and bowls. Always confirm that both clips are secure before tipping anything hot. And even with the strainer attached, keep a firm hand on both pot handles. Number 5. Good Cook Deluxe Salad Spinner, $23.95. Wet lettuce can make salad dressing slide straight to the bottom of the bowl. A salad spinner removes that extra water without squeezing the leaves by hand or drying them one at a time. Place the washed greens in the basket, use the spinning mechanism, and let the basket push the water outward. The bowl can also help contain the mess that usually comes with rinsing leafy vegetables. For someone who enjoys fresh salads but dislikes the preparation, this is a simple way to shorten the process. Do not overload the basket, because smaller batches are easier to spin and control. Number 6. MegaWise Immersion Hand Blender, $20.22. A full-size countertop blender can be heavy to lift, awkward to clean, and more machine than a small meal needs. An immersion blender goes directly into the pot, cup, or mixing container. It can be useful for soups, sauces, smoothies, and other soft mixtures that need a quick blend. Because the food stays in its original container, there is less transferring and usually less washing afterward. Keep the blending head fully inside the food before switching it on to reduce splashing. Always unplug the blender before touching, removing, or cleaning the blade area. Number 7. Sensarti Non-stick ceramic frying pan skillet, $20.78. A smaller frying pan is often easier to manage than a large, heavy skillet. This Sensarti pan uses a ceramic non-stick cooking surface, which can make eggs and other delicate foods easier to release. The lighter size is a practical match for one-person meals, reheating leftovers, or cooking a simple breakfast. Non-stick cookware also needs less aggressive scraping during cleanup. Use the heat level recommended by the manufacturer and avoid metal utensils that may damage the surface. Before buying, choose the pan size that you can lift comfortably when it contains food. Number 8. Yaramate 16 Ounce 2-in-1 Glass Olive Oil Sprayer, $9.99. Pouring from a large oil bottle can send far more into the pan than you intended. This container gives you two choices: a spray for a lighter coating or a controlled pour for recipes that need more. The glass body makes the oil level easy to see, so you know when it is time to refill. It can be useful for coating a skillet, dressing vegetables, or adding oil to an air fryer basket. Wipe the outside if it becomes oily, because a slippery glass bottle is harder to hold safely. And do not fill it past the level recommended for the sprayer mechanism. If one of these products has already made you think of someone, tap the like button. It helps YouTube show this video to more families looking for practical ideas. Now, let us keep going. Number 9. 5-blade herb scissors with cleaning kit, $10.95. Fresh herbs add flavor, but finely chopping them with a knife can feel like too much effort for a small result. These scissors use several blades at the same time to cut herbs into narrow pieces with each squeeze. They are useful for parsley, chives, cilantro, and similar soft ingredients. The included cleaning tool is important because small pieces can remain between the blades. These are not ordinary scissors, so wash and store them carefully. Keep your fingertips well away from the blade openings while cutting. Number 10. Utensils Food Kitchen Scale, $13.99. A digital scale can make portioning and baking more straightforward. Place a bowl on top. Use the tare function to return the display to 0, and then add the ingredient. That means you can weigh food without doing mental subtraction for the bowl. The flat surface is easier to wipe than a scale with many grooves or moving parts. A clear display matters, especially when small printed measuring marks are difficult to read. Check the maximum capacity before placing a heavy bowl or pot on it. Number 11. Temp Pro Temp Swift 1-second digital meat thermometer, $8.98. Guessing whether meat is fully cooked is not worth the uncertainty. A digital thermometer gives you a temperature reading without repeatedly cutting the food open. The fast response is useful when checking chicken, beef, fish, baked goods, or reheated leftovers. A bright digital display is easier to read than a tiny dial. Insert the probe into the thickest part of the food and avoid touching bone or the hot pan. Clean the probe after each use, but keep the electronic body away from water unless the manufacturer specifically says it is waterproof. Number 12. Spring Chef Stainless Steel Magnetic Measuring Spoons, $9.99. Loose measuring spoons have a habit of disappearing into different drawers. This set nests together magnetically, so the spoons stay grouped without a ring that has to be opened. The narrow ends can fit inside many spice jars, while the rounded ends work well for liquids. Clear markings also reduce the need to compare several nearly identical spoons. The flat shape helps a filled spoon stay more stable on the counter. For anyone who cooks from recipes, this is a small organization upgrade that gets used often. Number 13. Mattitude Anti-Fatigue Kitchen Mat 2-Pack, $21. Standing on a hard kitchen floor can make meal preparation feel longer than it is. These cushioned mats are designed for the places where people stand most, such as the sink and the main prep area. The two-piece set lets you cover both locations without moving one mat around the room. A wipe-clean surface is useful where water, crumbs, and cooking spills are common. Lay each mat completely flat and keep the floor underneath clean and dry. A cushioned mat should make standing more comfortable, but it should never curl, slide, or create a trip edge. Number 14. Spring Chef Heavy-Duty Metal Ice Cream Scoop, $10. And hard ice cream can turn a pleasant dessert into a wrestling match with a bent spoon. This scoop uses a sturdy metal head and a soft grip handle designed for better control. Its shape works more like a combination of a scoop and a small spade, helping it cut into firm, frozen desserts. The edges can also reach into the corners of the container instead of leaving a layer behind. The handle includes a small notch that can help lift certain container lids. Let very hard ice cream rest briefly before scooping rather than forcing any tool with your wrist. Number 15. Metal Magnetic Spice Rack for Refrigerator, $16.98. A crowded cabinet makes small spice jars difficult to find and easy to forget. A magnetic rack uses the side of the refrigerator as visible storage space. That keeps frequently used seasonings closer to eye level and reduces bending or reaching into a deep shelf. It can also free up cabinet space for heavier items that should not be stored overhead. Before loading the rack, confirm that the magnet holds firmly on your refrigerator surface. Place heavier containers on the lower shelf and avoid overloading it. Number 16. Hotech Premium Stainless Steel Locking Kitchen Tongs, $7.99. Tongs give your hand extra distance from a hot skillet, grill pan, or pot. The locking mechanism keeps them closed in the drawer instead of letting the arms spread apart. Silicone grip areas can make them easier to control when turning food or serving salad. They are especially useful when a fork would require you to work too close to steam or splattering oil. Choose the shortest length that still keeps your hand comfortably away from the heat. Do not leave the handles resting against a hot burner or pan edge. Number 17. Large Twist Chicken Shredder Tool with Brush and Fork, $21.99. Shredding cooked chicken with 2 forks works, but it can be slow and repetitive. This tool places the meat inside, then uses a twisting motion to pull it apart. The clear top lets you see the texture while you work, so you can stop before the pieces become too fine. It can also help keep the food contained instead of scattering it across a cutting board. Let the meat cool enough to handle safely before loading the container. Do not force large bones or hard pieces into the shredding teeth. Number 18. The original proper popper microwave popcorn popper, $19.99. Microwave popcorn bags are convenient, but they limit the amount of oil, salt, and seasoning you can control. This silicone popper lets you use plain kernels and add only what you prefer. It collapses for storage, which is helpful when cabinet space is limited. The built-in handles are useful when removing it from the microwave, but the container and steam can still be hot. Follow the fill line rather than guessing the amount of kernels. Open the lid away from your face so the steam escapes in the other direction. Number 19. Super Cubes Half-Cup Silicone Freezer, Mold with Lid, $21.99. Cooking, for one, often leaves a small amount of soup, sauce, or stew that does not fit neatly into a meal plan. This mold divides food into half-cup portions before freezing. Once solid, the portions can be removed and stored together, ready to reheat one at a time. That can reduce waste and make a homemade lunch easier on a busy day. Allow hot food to cool before placing it into the silicone tray. Label the storage bag with the food and date, because frozen portions can look surprisingly similar. Number 20. Kitschy Pizza Cutter Wheel with Protective Blade Cover, $13.99. A traditional pizza cutter has a long handle that can require extra wrist pressure. This compact wheel sits closer to the hand, allowing downward pressure from the palm. It works for pizza, flatbread, quesadillas, and soft dough. The protective cover matters because a round blade can be difficult to see in a crowded drawer. Use it on a proper cutting surface rather than a plate you do not want scratched. Wash it carefully and return the cover before storage. We are halfway through. Subscribe if you prefer useful products explained plainly, without the hype. We make new videos for seniors and families every week. Number 21. Digital Kitchen Timer with Large Light Emitting Diode Display, $19.99. A phone timer is useful until the phone is charging in another room or the screen has gone dark. A dedicated kitchen timer stays where you need it and does one job clearly. The large display makes the remaining time easier to see from across the counter. A magnetic back can keep it on the refrigerator instead of taking up workspace. Use it for baking, medication reminders, steeping tea, or any routine that needs a simple countdown. Before relying on it, test the alarm volume in the room where it will be used. Number 22. 24-piece self-adhesive appliance slider set, $9.99. Coffee makers, mixers, and air fryers often need to move forward before use. Lifting them repeatedly can strain the hands and back, especially when the counter is deep. These small sliders attach underneath an appliance so it can glide across the surface more easily. They are most useful for equipment that stays on the counter, but does not need to remain pulled forward all day. Clean and dry the appliance feet before attaching the adhesive pieces. Move the appliance slowly, and never slide it while it contains hot food or liquid. Number 23. Zule Kitchen Powerful Milk, Frother Wand with Batteries, $9.49. A handheld frother is not only for decorative coffee foam, it can mix powdered drinks, small amounts of dressing, hot cocoa, or an egg mixture without bringing out a larger appliance. The narrow wand fits into a cup, so cleanup is quick. Its lightweight may be easier to manage than a full hand mixer for small jobs. Start with the whisk below the surface to avoid spraying liquid around the kitchen. Switch it off before lifting the whisk out of the cup. Number 24. Chihi 2-liter stainless steel grease container, $19.99. Pouring cooking grease into the sink can create plumbing problems, and leaving it in an open bowl is messy. This stainless steel container provides a dedicated place for cooled cooking oil or grease. The strainer catches larger food particles as the liquid is poured in. A lid helps keep the contents covered between uses. Let grease cool to a safer temperature before transferring it, and pour slowly. Place the container on a stable surface where it cannot be mistaken for a food or drink container. Number 25. Hulisan Stainless Steel Flour Duster, $6.29. Flour often comes out of a spoon in one heavy pile instead of a thin, even layer. This duster uses a fine mesh to spread flour, powdered sugar, cocoa, or cinnamon more evenly. The handle can be operated with one hand, keeping the other hand free to hold a pan or piece of dough. It can reduce the mess that comes from shaking flour directly out of a bag. Fill it only partway so the mesh has room to work. Tap out the remaining powder and keep it completely dry before storage. Number 26. Hoan Bagel Biter Slicer and Cutter with Safety Shield, $17.99. A round bagel can roll under a knife, and holding it steady puts fingers too close to the blade. This slicer holds the bagel inside a protective frame, while the blade moves downward through the center. The shield keeps hands outside the cutting path during normal use. It is also useful for English muffins and similar round breads that fit the opening. Place it on a flat counter and press straight down rather than twisting. The blade is still sharp, so clean and store it with the same care as a kitchen knife. Number 27. Ototo Dunk Egg Yolk Separator, $8.95. Separating eggs by passing the yolk between shell halves can leave pieces of shell in the bowl. This small tool sits over the edge of a container and holds the yolk while the white drains through. Its playful design is easy to recognize in a drawer full of ordinary utensils. It is useful for recipes that call for only whites or only yolks. Crack the egg gently so the yolk stays whole. Rinse the separator soon after use, because dried egg is harder to remove. Number 28. Prep Solutions Brown Sugar Keeper, $17.80. Brown sugar can turn into a solid block when its moisture escapes. This storage system is designed to keep the sugar protected and easier to scoop. That means less pounding on the bag and fewer hard lumps in a measuring cup. The container also keeps the ingredient visible, which makes it easier to see when you are running low. Follow the directions for preparing and maintaining the moisture piece. Keep the lid fully closed after every use. Tell me which product you would actually use and which one you would skip. Honest answers help shape the next list. Now let us finish the final 12. Number 29. 5-piece plastic pot and dish scraper set, $5.99. Burned or dried food can be difficult to remove without scratching a pan. These plastic scrapers use firm edges to lift residue from cookware, dishes, counters, and other suitable surfaces. Different corner shapes can reach along curved pans or into tight edges. They also keep fingernails away from sticky labels and dried messes. Test the scraper on a small area before using it on a delicate finish. Do not use it on a hot pan because the plastic may be damaged. Number 30. OXO Good Grips Corn Prep Peeler, $11.95. Removing corn kernels with a knife means balancing a round cob while cutting downward. This peeler is shaped to follow the cob and remove kernels in strips. The handle gives you a dedicated gripping point instead of holding a knife above your fingers. It is useful for fresh corn salads, soups, casseroles, and freezing seasonal corn. Work over a wide bowl or cutting board because loose kernels can scatter. Move the tool away from your supporting hand and use steady pressure rather than speed. Number 31. Karoti 4-cup non-stick granite egg pan. $21.99. This divided pan creates 4 separate cooking areas in one skillet. It can prepare eggs, small pancakes, sausage patties, or other breakfast portions without everything running together. For one person, the sections can also be used to cook a few different items in the same pan. The non-stick surface is intended to make turning and cleanup easier. Use utensils that will not scratch the coating, and follow the manufacturer's heat recommendations. Remember that the handle and pan can still become hot even when the food cooks quickly. Number 32. Dream Farm Spoon Non-Stick Silicone Scraping and Serving Spoon. $11.99. A spoon covered in sauce usually ends up on the counter, the stove, or a separate spoon rest. The spoon is shaped so the working end stays raised when the utensil is placed down. Its flexible edge helps scrape food from the bottom and sides of a pan. That makes it useful for sauces, scrambled eggs, oatmeal, and serving softer foods. The measuring marks can also help with small quantities during cooking. Keep the handle away from direct flame, and do not leave the spoon inside a very hot pan longer than necessary. Number 33. Meat Tenderizer with 48 stainless steel needle blades. $14.99. Thick cuts of meat can cook unevenly when the surface and center have very different thicknesses. This tenderizer uses multiple small blades to pierce the meat with a downward press. It can help marinades reach farther into the surface and may shorten preparation compared with pounding meat repeatedly. The spring-loaded design keeps the blades covered when the tool is not being pressed. Those blades are extremely sharp, so use it only on a stable cutting board and never place fingers underneath the meat. Clean it immediately and store it where children cannot reach it. Number 34. Spring Chef Swivel Vegetable Peeler. $8.99. A narrow metal peeler can be uncomfortable to hold for more than a few minutes. This Spring Chef model uses a wider, soft grip handle and a swiveling blade that follows the shape of the food. It can be used for potatoes, carrots, apples, and similar produce. The broader handle may be easier to control for someone who dislikes pinching a thin utensil. Peel away from your body and keep the supporting hand behind the blade path. Use a cut-resistant glove if hand control is limited. Number 35. Yoyan Electric Salt and Pepper Grinder Set. $11.99. Twisting a manual pepper mill can be difficult when the lid is tight or the grinder is full. An electric set grinds with a button or automatic mechanism, depending on the model setting. That makes seasoning possible with one hand, while the other hand stirs or holds a pan. The clear chamber helps show which spice is inside and when it needs refilling. Adjust the grind before holding it over the food, so you do not add more than intended. Keep the battery area dry and wipe the outside rather than placing the full unit in water. Number 36. Bella Fits Anywhere Slim Toaster. $19.99. A standard toaster can take up a surprising amount of counter space. This slim Bella model is designed with a narrow footprint, making it easier to fit beside a coffee maker or against a wall. It is useful for toast, bagels, and other breads that match the slot specifications. The controls stay on the front, where they are easier to reach than controls hidden behind the appliance. Keep the toaster away from curtains, paper towels, and anything else that can catch heat. Unplug it before cleaning the crumb tray and never reach into the slot with a metal utensil. Number 37. Highware Stainless Steel Spider Strainer Skimmer Ladle. $9.99. A spider strainer lifts food out of hot liquid without requiring you to pour the entire pot. The wide wire basket is useful for pasta, vegetables, dumplings, boiled eggs, or fried foods. Its long handle keeps your hand farther from steam and splashing oil. Because the liquid drains through the open basket, food can move directly to a plate or bowl. Lift slowly and allow excess liquid to drain over the pot. Do not overload the basket with more weight than you can hold steadily. Number 38. Zule Kitchen High Heat-Resistant Silicone Spoon Rest, $8.99. A single small spoon rest does not help much when several utensils are in use. This wider silicone version provides separate spaces for multiple spoons, spatulas, or tongs. The raised edges collect drips before they spread across the counter. It is flexible, washable, and easy to place beside the stove. A spoon rest will not protect a counter from a dangerously hot pan or metal utensil. Use it only for tools that are within the material's stated temperature limit. Number 39. PG Yard Meat Chopper and Hamburger Grinder, $8.49. Breaking ground meat apart with the edge of a spatula can require repeated wrist movement. This chopper uses several angled blades to separate the meat with a pressing and turning motion. It can also work with soft-cooked foods, such as potatoes or tomatoes. The broad handle gives the hand more surface to hold than a thin utensil. Use it only in cookware that is compatible with the tool material. Press gently at first, especially in a coated pan, and keep the utensil away from direct flame. Number 40. Kongnai 4-Pack Kitchen Funnel Set, $5.98. Transferring oil, spices, rice, or cleaning liquids into a narrow container often ends with part of the product on the counter. A funnel guides the material into the opening and keeps the container steadier. This set includes different sizes, so you do not have to force one funnel to fit every bottle or jar. The small versions are useful for spices, while the larger ones can handle liquids and dry pantry ingredients. Use separate funnels for food and household products so they are never mixed. Wash them thoroughly, allow them to dry, and store the set together. Those are 40 kitchen products chosen to remove small frustrations without turning the kitchen into a room full of complicated equipment. The links are organized by number in the description. Prices were accurate when this video was prepared, but Amazon prices can change. If you are buying for yourself, focus on the task that has become annoying, tiring, or uncomfortable, rather than buying a product simply because it looks clever. And if you are buying for a parent or grandparent, ask what they would genuinely use before filling their drawers with more tools. If this video helped, press the like button and subscribe to Reliable Consumer. Leave a comment with the product you would keep and the one you would remove from the list. We read those comments, and they directly influence the next video. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.